You ask fans if they want to see Woodley fight again. I think that would be a flat-out no.
UFC President Dana White is well known for trash-talking fighters on his own roster when they get on his bad side. And that's where welterweight champion Tyron Woodley has found himself living for much of his UFC career. Woodley claims he's one of the worst-treated champions in history. White argues Tyron's earned fans' scorn by refusing fights and playing it safe in the cage. As always, the truth is somewhere in the middle. Let's take a look at how the beef between the two came to be. White's criticism of Woodley goes back to 2014, after Woodley lost a decision to Rory MacDonald at UFC 174. He got beat mentally, White told Fox Sports, adding, "It seems like he chokes in the big fights." Later that year, White would once again throw Woodley under the bus in the press for refusing to fight his teammate Hector Lombard. After knocking out Robbie Lawler to win the welterweight title, Woodley started pushing back at what he felt was a lack of support and promotion from the UFC.
I do feel like they're pushing you a little more in this fight. I saw this clip with Budweiser and you sit and get to know Tyron Woodley. Do you feel a little more love going into this one? It takes a lot to please you.
It's not. Just treat me fairly.
You're still not feeling that it's fair.
In general, that's all. If you want to please me, treat me fairly. I don't need any extra attention. Okay. I don't need any above and beyond. But I want to be treated fairly.
Has it gotten better though?
Did you see the promo video?
Which one? The Budweiser one or
no, the Budweiser one? The video to promote the fight. The extended one.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, the 10-minute one.
Did you hear the video, the song?
I don't recall like paying attention to that in particular.
The song was the first thing was "Give me your best shot." So it's implying that my opponent received my best shot and he was still taking it. And every significant strike that he landed in the entire fight made that highlight. When I knocked him down 4 times in one round and completely shut him down and annihilated him in the first round. If you watch the trailer, it's not really set that the champion went out there and he fought his glorious fight. Everything that I did was trumped with him, being resilient through it. If I knocked him down, he came back. If I did this, he came back and won all these rounds. So I thought it was a little weird.
White responded by telling ESPN Radio that Woodley was a bit of a drama queen. He'll start fighting and arguing with people on social media, White said. Then he wonders why when we show up for a press conference and the whole crowd is booing him.
Guard line?
Dana, you a drama queen. How about that?
What is that?
Dana White is a drama queen.
Say that again?
Dana White is the drama queen.
Oh, okay.
He's the drama queen.
Really?
And guess what? Isn't it called the teapot calling me the kettle? How does that saying go? Why Dana White don't call me a drama queen? He's the biggest drama queen. I learned from the best.
But things only got worse after Woodley won a razor-thin decision against Stephen Thompson at UFC 209. The fight was widely panned as a stinker.
It seemed like neither guy was willing to engage and both were so very cautious. What was your thought on when Joe Rogan said he thought it was an entertaining main event? The crowd did not. What did you think?
That was nice of Joe. When I was out doing a radio tour for this fight, I said, "You've all seen the first fight. How can the second fight not be good?" So I guess it doesn't matter what the first fight was like. The second fight can be not as
Does
good.
it frustrate you or even mattered when Dana was in here earlier and said that he basically wasn't impressed and he's kind of frustrated and he said he doesn't know what's going to happen with y'all next?
Well, I want to see Dana get in there and fight Wonder Boy.
Another cautious and boring win over Damian Maia at UFC 214 had Dana White criticizing his welterweight champ again.
It was Woodley's win tonight. Certainly didn't necessarily entertain the crowd quite as much. What did you think watching that fight?
About watching what fight?
The Woodley fight and beating Maia.
What did you think about watching the Woodley fight? Listen, when you break a record for the least punches ever thrown in a 5-round fight, in a title fight, and you beat it by, it was like 130, and these guys threw 60 or something like that. I think that sums it up.
So I don't care so much about the fans, but when your job title is promoter, promote your fucking fighters. Promote your champions. Don't demote your champions.
White and Woodley worked out a fragile peace after that, but it didn't last long. 6 months later, Tyron told ESPN his next title defense might be against Nate Diaz. Dana White unleashed a blistering response. "He's full of shit," White said on UFC Tonight. "That fight was never made. You couldn't be more wrong. He couldn't be more full of shit."
So I just took a huge offense to it. You know, when you make a statement that somebody's full of shit, you know what I mean? I just can't get with it. You know, that warranted a phone call instantly.
Oh, from who?
A phone call from me to Dana.
Oh, on Wednesday night after he said this?
Actually, no, I saw it Wednesday night. I was really pissed off because, you know, I can see if it was a situation that I literally just made up, then maybe I can see what's it. You could have even said it differently. You could have even said, you know what, the fight with Nate, I mean, Tyron's wishful thinking. You know what, the next fight for him is RDA. You know, Nate is not going to fight him. He hasn't fought in a while. He lost his last fight. Whatever rationale. But when you say, "Oh, Tyron's so full of shit," you know what I mean? Come on now. That's a little bit harsh, a little bit hardcore for somebody who's wearing the belt of your organization, that people and young fighters aspire to enter into the UFC and they aspire to be a UFC champion. I don't think many people are going to aspire to be a champion when they see the way that the champions are treated and they see that.
White would later admit a UFC official had contacted Woodley and Diaz about the fight. Well, sort of.
First of all, let me just say this. So I don't even count that one. Don't even count that he turned down Woodley, okay? Because that was never even one of our attorneys here started playing matchmaker and said that he has a good rapport with the Diaz brothers, and he basically said, "Well, what if you could fight Tyron Woodley?" And me or Sean were like, "How does he deserve to fight Tyron Woodley? There's a fucking list of guys that are waiting to fight Tyron Woodley, and this dude's gonna fight? What are you talking about?" So he kind of went off the reservation a little bit and started playing matchmaker. Then that's why you started hearing Woodley saying, "I got offered a fight with Nate Diaz," and then we're like, "No, there was never a fight." That's the deal.
Woodley would go on to fight Darren Till at UFC 228. Leading up to the fight, White left little doubt on who he thought was more marketable. Quote, "Every time Tyron Woodley opens his mouth, he shoots himself in the foot," end quote, he told BT Sport. He's a very unlikable guy to fight fans, and Till is the exact opposite. A tweet showing Dana White's disappointed face after Woodley submitted Till went viral and summed up their relationship nicely. White then left the arena without even attending the post-fight press conference.
Since you've left the octagon with your black belt and your title, have you spoken to Dana White?
Oh, I haven't spoken to him yet. Did he already come in here?
No.
He left. No, I hadn't talked to him.
What would you say to him when you do see him? Because obviously he had, I guess, a few words about you yesterday in terms of like the fight this evening.
You know, I just focus on fighting and winning. You know, I did a great job. I got my phones taken away from me a couple days earlier. Usually fight day I have my phone snatched, but I didn't have my phone the last couple of days, so I didn't read any articles. But at the end of the day, you know, what speaks louder than going out there and being victorious? So, to be honest, Dana might say something this week. Next week he might say something different. I don't know. So I don't take offense to it. I just go out there and fight and win. And my goal is to be the greatest in the world. And if I got to go through a whole bunch of different obstacles to get that, then, I mean, I'm built for it. That's what I'm in here for.
3 months after beating Till, White started accusing Woodley of holding up the division.
We'll see.
Just for clarification, when you say moving on without Woodley and without Covington, are you talking about a new undisputed champion potentially?
I'm not talking about anything. I'm just saying fights will continue to happen. Whether you fight or don't fight, we're going to roll on.
Is Woodley healthy right now?
Woodley's thumb is...
Yeah. Is hurt
something wrong with his thumb.
Okay. The way you say that, you don't believe him?
No, I believe him. Remember when Conor said... You have to understand, I know guys like Conor McGregor, and I know all the guys that behind the scenes. Don't you guys remember the thing when Conor McGregor said, "Who needs a tum? You don't even need a tum to fight." And Conor fought with so many injuries that it's ridiculous.
And even times that Conor doesn't say it publicly. You know what I mean? So when you're used to dealing with guys like that, you got a guy with a thumb, you know, it's just it's not just one thing. It's always something with Woodley.
Woodley now faces Kamaru Usman at UFC 235. He's kept a low profile and had some advice to share with his division nemesis Colby Covington, who recently started his own beef with Dana White.
It's kind of funny because over the last few weeks he's had some pointed words for the UFC and Dana White and
making it worse, bro. Take it from me.
That's what I was going to ask you, because you've had some pointed words for them over the years as well.
Just kick ass. Don't worry about doing that. Don't worry about going head to head. Don't worry about going back and forth. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you got to recognize this is their show, man. They're allowing us to be out here and fight, and you know, really have this platform. And it doesn't always work out well for you when you go take that direction. So if you're Conor, then you can do whatever the hell you want to. But neither one of us are Conor at this current moment, and he would never be Conor because he's never gonna have a belt. But you know, he'll learn.